In today's video, we are going to discuss about the Python programming language and the operators in the Python programming language. So there are mainly three type of operators in the Python programming language, starting from the arithmetic operators to relational operators and then the logical operators. We are going to discuss all of these operators one by one. Let us start with the arithmetic operators. Now, arithmetic operators are basically the simple arithmetic calculative operators you can use for arithmetic calculation. There are mainly four operators that we are going to discuss here: addition, multiplication, subtraction, and division. And for each of these, we use plus, minus, and for multiplication and division, we have some symbols that we use. Now, let us see how can we actually use it in the Python programming language. For that, I am opening the Jupyter notebook, and after opening the Jupyter notebook, for opening the Jupyter notebook, I have to search Jupyter notebook from my computer, from my laptop, and let me open the Jupyter notebook. So after opening the Jupyter notebook, I will create a notebook after clicking the new option. And as you can see, my Jupyter notebook is opened. Now I will create a variable called a and I will store a value of 13 in a. And I will create another variable b and I will store another value of suppose 12 in b. And if I want to find out their sum, I can easily just give a plus b and I can find out their sum. Now if I run this code, you can see that 25, which is the sum of the variables. What are the variables? A and B are the variables, and 13 and 12 are the values that are stored in the variables. Similarly, if I want to find out the subtraction between A and B, the difference between A and B, then I can actually give A minus B and I will get the difference between A and B. If I want to get the multiplication of A and B, then I can give A multiplied by B, and after multiplying A by B, I can get the value of A multiplied by B. And similarly, if I want to get the division of A and B, I can just give simply A divided by B, and if I run this code, you can easily find out the division of A and B. Similarly, suppose if I want to write or if I want to calculate B divided by A, or you can calculate anything, like you can calculate b minus a, you can calculate b into a, that is also applicable. So if I want to calculate divided by a, and if I run this code, it will show me the result also. So these are the uses of arithmetic operators in the Python programming language. You have to just give the variables and you have to just assign the values to the variables, and then you have to perform the arithmetic functions or arithmetic operations in the Python programming language. It is basically very easy thing. Now, in the next part, we are going to understand the relational operators. Now, relational operators are nothing but it is basically the greater than, less than, equals to, and not equals to. These are the four main type of relational operators that are prevailing, and we are going to understand these four type of relational operators in the Python programming language. So, for that, I am going to the Jupyter notebook again, and I am feel. So here, suppose we have two variables a and b. And let me open a new file, or let me open a new console for the notebook. After opening the new notebook, suppose I have a new variable, I have assigned it, suppose I have assigned it as v, and I am giving a value of on 13v, and I have assigned another variable that is n, and within n I have given a value of 120. Now if I give v greater than n, as you can see from here, obviously v is greater than n, so it will return me a true. If I run this v greater than n, then it will give me a true because v is greater than n. This is the use of the relational operators, and this is basically the way to use the relational operators, and you can easily find out the way of using these relational operators. Similarly, if I give v less than n, if I give v less than n, and if I try to run this, it will give me false, because obviously v is 130 and n is 120. So v is not greater than n. I mean, so I'm sorry, n is not greater than v is not smaller, v is greater, so it will give me false. If I want to check whether v and n are equal or not, now for that I can give v equals to, for checking the equal sign in the Python programming language will be by giving two equal signs. So if I run this, it will give me false, because obviously v and n are not equal here. But if I assign n as 130 as well and I run the code again, then what will happen? If I give this, you can see v equals to 1 is true now, because in the Python programming language, now v and n are equal variables. So obviously it will return a true value here. Now, these are the basically the relational operators. If I want to check v and n are not equal, I mean, if I want to check the not equals to operator in the Python. So for the not equals to operator, I have to give the exclamatory sign, and so if I write this is basically not equals to. So v not equals to n. If I run this now, it will show me false, because v and n are equal here. V and n both are 130. Now if I assign n as 100 again, and if I run this code again, then you can see it will show me true, because here v and n are not equal. And in the earlier video or in the previous video, you can see the video in the playlist. I have said it about it that we can change the value of variable. Value of variable can be changed and it can be iterated, and whatever value we give to the variable, it will take again and again, it will repeat to take these different variables or new values or different values in the variables. So we can give different values to the same variable, and it will actually erase the previous or past memory of its past value and give the and take the new value in it. So in the earlier case, suppose at first n is 100, it is treating as an n as 100. If I pass different value, suppose if I pass 300 into the n, it will take n as 300. It will take the value of 300 in the end. So we can change the values, or we can change the values of the variable that we are storing in it, or that we are assigning in it. So these are basically the relational operators. Now we are heading to the logical operators. So suppose v and n is 300, and if I want to check, if I for these logical operators, I want to check, suppose I am erasing it all, and for logical operators, I am assigning v is equals to true and n equals to false. Well, for the logical operators, you have to understand that. Let me open the PPT at first. After the relational operators, we are going to read about the logical operators. And or are the two logical operators. Now, if there is and, at first let me tell about the on and operator. So in case of and operator, if A is true and B is false, then A and A will actually give you true. That is okay. That is okay. A and A will give you true. So let me run this at first. And if I run this, and suppose this is M and N, and if I run this code, I feel there is some problem with this. Sorry, it is not A and M, it is V and N. I have assigned the wrong variable V and N, and if I run this, you can see it is giving me false. If I run V and V, which was I was actually telling the about V and V, running V and V, let me see what it gives. So if I run V and V, it is giving you true, because V and V both are V's, and both are actually taking the value of true, so it will obviously return you a true. But in case of V and N, it is returning you a false. So in case of AND operator, if any of the variable is consisting of false value, then false will be returned. And similarly, if I run N and V, it will obviously return me false, because in case of N and V, a single N is actually consisting of false, so N and V will also return me false. In case of N and N, what will be returned? In case of N and N, if you run this code as N and N, it will return you false, because in case of N and N, both are N and both are actually, both variables are N and it is consisting of value false, so it will return false. Now if we go to the OR operator, in case of OR operator, if I run this code with OR operator and if I want to check this code with OR operator, so in case of OR operator, if any of the value or if any of the variable is consisting a true value, then it will return you true. So let me check with OR operator. For the OR operator, we have to assign the OR sign here. So it is the OR sign, and it is the OR sign. I will assign it again also here, and in here also here, and it is here also. And if I run this, now you can see that when I'm running it, in case of V and N, V or N, V is consisting of true and N is consisting of false. So in case of V or N, one element or one variable is actually consisting of true, so it will return true. In case of V and V, both are consisting of true, so it will obviously return true. In case of last one, the N or V, N is consisting of false, but V is consisting of true. And if any of the variable is consisting of true, then true will be returned. So as it in the case, true is returned here. And in case of N and N, both are false, so false is being returned. So these are the operators in the Python programming language.